When we think of ghost stories, we tend to think of old houses, antique dolls, and vintage photographs. But sometimes the most terrifying specters show up in the most unexpected places, like the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, a place already known for housing serial killers and attracting the city's most desperate. But for the internet's most ardent ghost hunters, the Cecil is just one place to find spirits among us. In February 2013, guests at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles began complaining about the water. It was discolored, it tasted strange, and the pressure was weak. So when maintenance staff climbed to the rooftop water tanks to investigate, they had no idea they were about to make a horrifying discovery. The bloated body of 21-year-old Elisa Lam was floating inside. Her story started out like any ordinary trip. Elisa Lam was a Canadian student who loved to travel solo. She'd been blogging about her adventures across California and had just arrived in LA. So she checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel, a place already known for its dark history. But Elisa wasn't there for the lore. She was exploring the city, blogging, and staying in a shared room. At first, everything was fine. But after 2 nights, staff asked her to move to a private room, citing odd behavior. Guests in the shared quarters complained that she was talking to herself and acting erratically. But those who knew her best say that kind of behavior was normal for Elisa, not necessarily a sign of anything more sinister. 3 days later, on February, security cameras would capture what would become haunting footage. Around 1:40 a.m., Elisa was alone in the hotel elevator. She steps in and out repeatedly, hiding, pressing random buttons, peeking out, gesturing at something or someone off camera. She appears confused, maybe afraid, maybe playing a game. It's haunting. The footage went viral. Millions of people watched it. Internet sleuths tore it apart frame by frame. Some said it showed a mental breakdown. Others believed she was being followed. A few pointed to supernatural theories, ghosts, demons, or the hotel itself. Then, 6 days later, after a massive manhunt, police found her body inside a locked water tank on the hotel roof. Access to the roof required a key card. Elisa's room key didn't work on the door, meaning she must have taken the elevator to the top floor, pushed open the heavy metal tank lid by herself, climbed in, and somehow drowned. The last piece of footage was from the elevator. But if the door was locked, how did she open the tank? If she was alone, how did she climb in without a life jacket? If she was struggling, why were her clothes found separately floating next to her? Yet her body showed no signs of assault or struggle. The coroner ruled the cause of death was an accidental drowning, influenced by Elisa's history of bipolar disorder. But that answer didn't sit right with many. We can speculate all we want about what's in the video, but what do we really know about what happened to Elisa? Well, the truth is the same as it always is: elusive. It turns out the elevator was behaving normally. Staff interviewed said it often had problems. The footage we see is actually a sped-up version, because the original footage was nearly 12 minutes long. The reason it seems like Elisa is acting strangely is because she actually was. But those who knew her say that kind of behavior was normal for Elisa. Other evidence was scant. There were no witnesses, no forced entry into the room, no signs of a struggle, just a backpack left on the bed and a missing diary. And while the circumstances surrounding Elisa's death remained officially unsolved, many believe she was murdered. There are more than 600 deaths recorded at the Cecil Hotel, including suicides, murders, and even a few serial killers, like Richard Ramirez, who used it as his home base in the 80s. One journalist described it as a magnet for the worst humanity has to offer. Others called it a death trap. And some say the elevator footage proves there are ghosts in the machine. A story like this can stir up a lot of theories. Ghosts, secret societies, satanic cults, time travelers, and doppelgangers. They're all fun to talk about, but when a life is lost, these theories can become dangerous. Elisa's friends and family deserve answers, so let's make sure we're looking in the right places for them. Because the truth is, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create in our own minds, and other times they're hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe for more. See you soon!